Welcome to the Urban Herald. As part of our team here, we're constantly exploring, the cutting edge of how information is shaped and shared. And today, we're diving deep into a topic that's truly, well, it's reshaping the landscape of creativity and productivity in a big way. We're talking advanced ChatGPT prompts and the really sophisticated AI tools out there for content creation. It feels like a revolutionary shift, honestly, and we're here to help you navigate it.
It really is fascinating. I mean, you think about tasks that used to take hours, sometimes days, of manual work research, writing, editing. Now, a lot of that can be achieved with, frankly, incredible precision. And it's thanks to these really intelligent prompts and specialized AI tools. So our mission for you today really is to unpack how this stuff, advanced prompt engineering, AI-powered writing, that smart human-AI collaboration, how it can actually transform your content strategy. And critically, doing it while keeping quality high, maintaining authenticity, and yeah, nailing search engine optimization too. It's all about unlocking the full power of these large language models, these LLMs, for real content creation.
Okay, let's unpack that then, because when most people hear AI prompt, they probably think of pretty simple instructions, like write a blog post about AI.
Yeah.
But what's the fundamental difference? What makes a prompt advanced compared to that basic request? Where does that sophistication really kick in?
That's the core question, isn't it? The real difference isn't just making the prompt longer, though sometimes they are. It's more about how strategically you're thinking. Basic prompts are, direct commands. Do this. Advanced prompts, though, they consistently deliver results that are really bespoke, tailored to specific brand voices, specific objectives. And that's because they use layers of context, they have constraints, structured frameworks. They actively guide the AI towards that targeted professional level output.
Right, so it's much less about just what you ask and far more about how you frame that ask. So what are the core principles then? How does someone move beyond just firing off simple questions and actually start mastering this prompt engineering? Where do you even begin?
Yeah, good question. It absolutely starts with clarity and specificity, but we're talking like radical clarity, far beyond just using clear language. It's about giving the AI such unambiguous guidance that there's almost no room left for it to go off track or give you irrelevant stuff. So instead of just write about SEO, an advanced prompt might be something like, acting as an SEO specialist, create a 1,500-word technical guide explaining on-page optimization techniques for e-commerce websites, targeting intermediate-level digital marketers. See the difference?
Yeah.
That level of detail just cuts through the noise.
Okay, that makes sense. But I wonder, isn't providing all that context, those constraints, doesn't it feel a bit, well, stifling for the AI? Does it actually limit its creativity?
That's a really common thought, and it's a fair question. But it's kind of the opposite, actually. Rather than limiting creativity, those constraints channel the AI's abilities. They help it focus on producing highly relevant results. You provide the background info, you define parameters, word count, tone, format, whatever, and it helps the AI stay on the right path. And then you've got techniques like persona and role-playing. This is where you literally tell the AI to act as a specific expert, like act as an experienced content marketing strategist, or maybe you respond as a technical writer specializing in cybersecurity. Doing that, it taps directly into the most relevant parts of its training data, so the content you get back is more authoritative, more contextually spot on.
Huh. So it's almost like giving the AI a really detailed job description and a project brief combined. Makes sense. And then you mentioned iterative prompting and chaining. That sounds like it's more for the really big, complex projects, yeah.
Exactly. Iterative prompting and chaining, that's a more advanced technique. You use it when you've got a really complex task that needs breaking down. You essentially guide the AI through sequential steps, where each new prompt builds on what the AI gave you last time. It's incredibly useful for those big, comprehensive projects, think ebooks, in-depth reports where you need multiple phases of development and refinement, and you have to ensure consistency and depth throughout.
Okay, and building on these techniques, you mentioned there are also established frameworks, like blueprints for building good prompts.
Absolutely. Stepping back to the bigger picture, understanding these frameworks is really helpful for picking the right approach for different kinds of content. So you've got the Role Audience Task Format Framework, RATF for short. What it does is it extends those basic prompts by making you explicitly think about the audience. That ensures the content doesn't just meet the technical specs, but actually resonates with who you're trying to reach. Then there's something called chain of thought prompting. This one's really valuable when you need complex reasoning or problem solving. You basically ask the AI to show its work, to outline its reasoning step by step. Now, this isn't just about getting a logical output. It's actually a surprisingly effective hack. It significantly reduces the chances of the AI hallucinating and making stuff up, and it really boosts accuracy for complex tasks. Turns potentially shaky outputs into something much more trustworthy.
Wow, reducing hallucinations just by asking it to think step by step. That's clever.
It really is. And then for getting the style or format just right, there's few-shot prompting. With this, you give the AI a few examples, maybe just one or two, of the kind of output you want before you ask it to generate the new content. It's like saying, here's the target, now hit it.
Okay, so you've structured your prompt, maybe used a framework. What's next? Are there techniques to push for even higher quality output once you've got that solid foundation?
Definitely. One simple but really powerful trick is just asking for multiple variations of the output. Now, this isn't just about having more options to choose from, though that's useful. It's actually a fantastic way to quickly figure out how the AI is interpreting your prompt. It can reveal ambiguities you didn't even realize were there in your instructions, so it gives you instant feedback to refine your prompting skills. It's like a little diagnostic check.
Ah, I like that. A diagnostic tool for your own prompts. Smart. What else can you do?
Another good one is asking the AI for its reasoning or for explanations behind its answers. This massively improves transparency and credibility, right? It helps you understand why the AI came up with what it did, which is especially crucial for complex topics where you need that logical flow and evidence. And finally, don't forget negative constraints. This means explicitly telling the AI what not to include. For instance, you might say, do not include promotional language, or avoid technical jargon unsuitable for beginners. It helps steer the AI away from things you definitely don't want.
Right, telling it, be brilliant, but definitely don't sound like a cheesy salesperson.
Exactly. That clarity, both positive and negative, seems to be the common thread running through all of this.
Okay, so we've really dug into the craft of building these powerful prompts. Let's talk application. Where does the rubber meet the road? How are people actually using these advanced techniques to genuinely transform their content strategy? And I guess for a lot of people listening, the first thing that springs to mind is probably SEO, right? Search engine optimization.
Oh, absolutely. SEO is a prime example where AI, especially fueled by these advanced prompts, offers just incredible efficiency gains. Take keyword research and clustering. You can now use a prompt like, acting as an SEO specialist, generate a list of 50 long-tail keywords related to sustainable fashion for an e-commerce site targeting environmentally conscious consumers aged 25-40. Group these by search intent informational, commercial, transactional, and estimate difficulty. I mean, I remember times when brainstorming even 50 long tails for a niche like that would take days shuffling through keyword tools and spreadsheets. Now, with a well-crafted prompt, it's minutes. It almost feels like magic sometimes.
It's a massive time saver.
Huge. And it's not just keywords. AI is great for streamlining content outlines and structures too. You can ask for something like, create a detailed content outline for a 2,000-word pillar page about digital marketing automation. Include H2 and H3 headings optimized for featured snippets, suggest internal linking opportunities, and add sections addressing common user questions. And then think about meta descriptions and title tags. The prompts need to carefully balance including the right keywords with writing compelling copy, all while staying within character limits. You're specifying target keywords, maybe even emotional triggers, and often asking for multiple variations so you can A/B test them.
Okay, so SEO is clearly a big win. What about longer content? Blog posts, articles, maybe even ebooks?
Yeah, moving into long-form content generation, AI can tackle all of that: blog posts, articles, and even more complex stuff like ebooks, white papers, case studies. For these, the prompts usually need very detailed briefs covering the target audience, key messages, tone, style preferences, everything. Ebooks and white papers especially often demand those iterative prompting strategies we talked about. You need that to maintain consistency across chapters and weave in authoritative research. Case studies are a bit different. The prompts need to be good at extracting key details from complex scenarios and then structuring a narrative that clearly shows a problem and how it was solved.
In the other end of the scale, short form stuff like social media or ads.
Absolutely. Short-form content, too. For social media posts, your prompts need to capture platform-specific character limits, hashtag conventions, plus audience preferences and calls to action for engagement. Ad copy and headlines also really benefit. Prompts can help balance persuasive language with any compliance rules, and again, generating multiple variations for A/B testing is standard practice. And think about email marketing sequences. AI can help maintain consistent messaging across a whole series of emails while personalizing the content for different segments of your audience. It's quite powerful.
It sounds like it covers the whole gamut, from technical SEO to creative emails.
It really does. And don't underestimate its power for purely creative content and storytelling either. AI is fantastic for brainstorming and idea generation. It can help you break through creative blocks, explore new angles. You can ask it for diverse perspectives or unconventional approaches. And for actual storytelling, prompts can guide things like character development, plot progression, hitting the right emotional notes, all while making sure it aligns with your brand's values.
That's interesting. And what about leveraging content you already have, repurposing?
Oh, huge potential there. Content repurposing and optimization is a really efficient use case for AI. Advanced prompts can focus on transforming existing content into different formats, summarizing a long article into social posts, rewriting a piece for a completely different audience or tone, even handling translation and localization. And this is but it's absolutely crucial to remember that human verification is essential here, especially for accuracy and cultural nuances in translation. AI is powerful, but it's definitely not foolproof. You always need that human check.
Right, that human oversight seems critical. So we've talked a lot about ChatGPT, but you mentioned other tools as well. It sounds like the landscape is much bigger than just one chatbot, right? Where else is AI making a difference in the content workflow?
That's exactly right. ChatGPT is amazing, no doubt, but it's really just one piece of a much larger and rapidly growing ecosystem. Beyond ChatGPT, you have these specialized AI writing platforms. Take Jasper AI, for example. It really excels at marketing content, has huge template libraries, and strong features for brand voice customization. Great for keeping campaigns consistent. Then there's Copy.ai. They're often highlighted for social media copy and brand voice development, and they have good collaborative features, which helps if you're working in a team. Sonic brings something different again. It integrates real-time web insights and competitor analysis, which makes it super valuable for creating SEO-optimized content that's also timely. And you have tools like Claude, which is known for superior performance in complex reasoning and handling really long-form analysis. They also talk about their constitutional AI, which aims for more reliable and ethical content generation.
Wow, okay. So a whole suite of specialized writing assistants. Does it stop there, or are there other categories of AI tools that content folks should have on their radar?
Oh, it definitely doesn't stop there. You've got AI-powered research and analysis tools. These things can transform how you gather information. They can quickly spot trends, analyze what your competitors are doing, synthesize complex data. Think about content analysis platforms that tell you how your existing stuff is performing, or tools that monitor social media buzz and search queries to see what's hot.
And I suppose tools for polishing the final product too, editing and proofreading.
Exactly. Advanced content editing and proofreading solutions are getting really sophisticated. We all know Grammarly, but its AI features now go way beyond basic grammar. They offer style suggestions, analyze tone, check readability, and plagiarism checkers are evolving too. Many now include AI content detection, which is becoming increasingly important for ensuring originality and transparency.
Makes sense. What about visuals? We're talking a lot about text.
Good point. Visuals are key. Tools like Canvas Magic Media AI let pretty much anyone create professional-looking visuals just using text prompts. It's democratizing design in a way. And then you have the really cutting-edge image generation tools like Midjourney and Dali. They can create completely custom images based on your descriptions, matching your content themes. But here's the thing. The real power often isn't in just picking one tool. It's about orchestrating what you might call a workflow symphony. Imagine using Sonic for those initial market insights, then maybe feeding that into Claude for some deep, long-form analysis, and finally running the output through Grammarly for tone refinement. That's where you see those exponential gains.
A workflow symphony. I like that.
Just remember, though, especially with the visual tools, careful prompting and human oversight are still absolutely essential to make sure everything aligns with your brand and message.
Which neatly brings us back to what feels like the most critical piece of this entire puzzle, that human-in-the-loop approach. You've stressed this a few times, AI as an augmentation tool, not a replacement. It's a collaboration. So what are those absolutely key human responsibilities in this model?
You've nailed it. It is the critical piece. Strategic planning and the overall creative direction that remains fundamentally human. We're the ones who set the goals and guide the AI towards achieving meaningful business objectives, content review, and refinement. Absolutely critical human tasks. You need to ensure that whatever the AI generates actually meets your quality standards, aligns with your brand, sounds like you, and maybe most importantly, fact-checking and accuracy verification. This is non-negotiable. AI models can and do sometimes generate plausible-sounding but completely wrong information. That hallucination phenomenon means you absolutely need systematic verification processes. Always check against reliable sources. Every single time, no exceptions.
That vigilance sounds key. And related to that, maintaining a consistent brand voice and authenticity, That seems like it could be a real challenge when you're introducing AI into the mix.
It is a challenge, but it's definitely manageable. Getting grand voice consistency right requires, again, careful prompt engineering, but also systematic review processes.
Hmm.
We're seeing organizations develop really detailed brand voice guidelines specifically for using AI in content creation
Mhm.
and preserving authenticity. That's about finding the right balance. You leverage the AI's efficiency for structure, research, maybe first drafts, but then you weave in genuine human insights, personal stories, unique perspectives. The most effective content really marries that AI-generated foundation with the distinct human touch. It's almost like, yeah, having a superpowered intern who works 24/7 but still needs crystal clear direction and a final polish.
That's a great analogy. The tireless intern needing guidance.
And beyond just the words, it's also vital to optimize the AI-generated content for the actual user experience. That means ensuring it has a clear structure, it's presented engagingly, and it directly answers the user's search intent or need. Thinking about readability, using visuals like images and charts effectively, making sure it works perfectly on mobile, especially since search engines prioritize mobile-first indexing now. These are all human considerations layered onto the AI output.
Right, it's not just about generating text, it's about crafting an experience. And then naturally, we need to know if any of this is actually working, measuring success and adapting.
Absolutely non-negotiable. As you said, performance tracking and analytics are just as fundamental for AI-generated content as for anything else. You're looking at your SEO metrics, organic traffic, keyword rankings. You're looking at engagement metrics, time on page, social shares, conversion rates. You might even track content velocity. How much faster are you producing quality content thanks to AI? That's a key
Yep.
efficiency measure. And because this field is moving so incredibly fast, continuous learning and adaptation are just crucial. You have to stay curious. Regular training, experimenting with new tools and prompts, keeping an eye on industry developments, that's how you stay current.
Looking ahead then, what are the big future trends you see? Where is AI content creation heading next? It feels like we're just scratching the surface.
We really are.
Yeah.
We'll definitely see much deeper personalization at scale content that adapts dynamically to individual user preferences and behavior in real time. Multimodal content generation will become more common, seamlessly blending text, images, audio, maybe even video, generated together for really immersive experiences. Real-time content optimization is another big one, systems that continuously tweak content based on immediate user feedback and performance data. And the underlying AI models will keep improving their reasoning capabilities, allowing them to tackle even more complex and nuanced content creation tasks.
But throughout all that advancement,
The fundamental importance of human oversight, human creativity, and strategic human guidance, that remains constant. It becomes even more critical, arguably.
so let's try and wrap this up. It seems clear that advanced ChatGPT prompts and this whole wider ecosystem of AI tools represent genuinely transformative power for content creators, for marketers, for anyone communicating online. They can seriously enhance productivity, quality, and strategic impact.
Absolutely. And the key to unlocking that potential effectively really lies in seeing AI as this powerful collaborative partner, not just a tool or worse, a replacement for human expertise. By blending these advanced prompting strategies with rigorous quality control, that essential human touch, and a commitment to continuous learning, creators can really harness AI's power. You get the efficiency and you preserve the creativity, the insight, the ethics, the human elements that truly make content exceptional, which I think raises a really important question for everyone listening. As AI keeps evolving at this pace, how will your own creativity, your critical thinking need to adapt? How will you harness these tools effectively rather than feeling overshadowed by them?
That's the crucial question, isn't it? The future really does seem to belong to those who can masterfully orchestrate this human AI collaboration, producing content that is both incredibly efficient and deeply authentically engaging. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive here at the Urban Herald.